Hello there folks, and a very warm welcome as usual back to What's for Tea, and it's lovely to see you all again, and I hope that I find you very well indeed. So thanks for coming over just to check out this wee recipe. I haven't done a slow cooker recipe for ages. I was making this for the tea. This is an Indian takeaway style curry, so I was making this for the tea anyway, so I said I'm going to record this because this is as close to an Indian takeaway as you're going to get making it at home. But just make sure you use everything that I'm using and you cannot go wrong. So the only bit of cooking in this is going to be frying off your onions and your garlic, because you want to get the flavour out and soften them up and take the raw edge off of the onion and the garlic. So pop your onion in, let that cook for a couple of minutes, and then you can add the garlic. I am using fresh garlic, but the garlic in a jar will do. Again, let that cook for another couple of minutes, just until everything's nice and soft, and then you can turn your heat off. These are my chicken thighs here. I recommend using chicken thighs because they're cheaper and they've got bags more flavour as well, and they're going to stand up to slow cooker cooking a wee bit better. So I'm using a 2.5 litre Crockpot. I'm going to pop some baby potatoes in. These are going to help thicken up your sauce and just add something extra. And then in with my garlic and onion, and then my diced chicken as well. I've just cut my thighs into bite-sized chunks. Then to this, I'm going to add some salt and pepper, and then a whole host of herbs and spices. You can use ground cloves or whole cloves, whatever you have. I am going to use the ground clove, but you don't need much of this because it's quite strong. So I'm going to put ½ teaspoon of that, and then cayenne pepper. Depends how hot you like your curry. I like a nice spicy curry. So I'm going to add a heaped teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and then some ground coriander as well, so a teaspoon of that, or cilantro if you're in the States or Canada. I've also got coriander leaves, so I'm going to add that. That's not essential, I'm just using it because I've got it. And then some crushed chilli as well, again just for some heat, but if you don't want yours as spicy, just leave that out. And then if you're going to skip on anything, don't skip on this. This is going to give you that authentic Indian takeaway flavour, so don't skip the garam masala. Then I'm going to add ½ teaspoon of turmeric. This is really just for the colour. Then to this, I'm going to add some tomato puree. This is just the tomato puree that you get in the cans or the tubes. And then just some water as well, because you don't want it too thick. This turns out quite thick, thick enough. So just add the water, and then a tablespoon of butter just for extra richness. This is going to help keep everything nice and moist. As it cooks, you can use unsalted or salted. I use salted butter. Give this a good mix around, just to make sure everything is well combined. I'm going to clean the bowl up because that's just me. And the last thing I'm going to do is add some bay leaves just to the top and just sort of push them under. Make sure they're at the top though, so that they're easy to fish out at the end. You'll know where they are. So you can cook this on low for about 6 hours or on high for 4 to 5 hours. This will depend on your own chicken. So just make sure your chicken is fully cooked before you start to eat it. I gave this one 6 hours on low, and the smell in this house, you could smell this upstairs. It just smelled like an Indian takeaway, which I am not complaining about because I love an Indian takeaway. Remove your bay leaves before you start to give it a good mix. The more you stir this round, the thicker it's going to get, because your potatoes, because they're so soft, will break down and disappear into your sauce. So just be careful. If you don't want this too thick, don't stir it around too much. I'm going to add a handful of chopped coriander or cilantro if you're in the States and Canada again, and that's it done. But like I said, just make sure you don't stir this around too much if you don't want it overly thick, because those potatoes will just break down and end up in your sauce. I wouldn't normally stir it as much as this, but I did want I do want to let you see for the purpose of the video. But it was lovely, I'm telling you. Do give this a go. If you've got all those herbs and spices, do give this a go if you like an Indian takeaway style curry. And it was lovely and nippy as well, it was nice and spicy. And I've just served this with some basmati rice and a wee bit of lime on the side, which I will squeeze over the rice just to give it a nice zing. But again, that's completely optional. All of these ingredients you will find in the description box underneath the video. And thank you so much for watching if you're still here. And a huge thanks to the supporters of the channel over on my Patreon page, to the channel members, for those that have bought me a coffee using the Buy Me a Coffee link, and for those that share the videos as well. Oof, so much thanks, but I do mean it. Thank you all so much. And I will catch up with you during the week for another wee video back here on What's for Tea. So take care of yourselves and bye for now. Bye now.